And welcome to Coach's Corner from the Shep Park Bowls Club at the Vic Open. With me today, I have Torridell Shannon, better known or AKA Thor. How are you today, mate?
Good, brother. Lovely to see you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, big tournament coming up for you. Now, for people that don't know Thor has been ranked in the top 3 in the Australian rankings for a few years now. Now, you've won a few tournaments along the way. You've just come back with gold from the Pan Pac Masters.
It was an opportunity, yes. It was good, yes.
No, that's good. And so currently playing for Victoria, also playing for Essendon Bowls Club. Been around Victoria for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, look, on and off as a junior for many years, under 25s. Took a bit of a break with family and work commitments, and last 3.5 years I've decided to actually have a fair income crack at it, as they say. Yes.
Yep. And you do have a fair income crack. You'd be in a line for player of the tournament. You'd be up there with a few of them that are in line with player of the tournament. You're playing in all 4 disciplines. So fair bit of work over the next 7 to 8 days, mate.
Look, it's a grueling schedule. If you're fortunate, you could be playing a minimum of 5 games, up to 7, I've heard, and still coming off the ground at 11 o'clock at night time. So preparation, I suppose, is what this segment's all about.
Somebody told me that during the week. I thought, rock up, start at 8:30, you'd be done by 6 o'clock. And somebody turned around and said, mate, if I can give you some advice, make sure you take plenty of food with you, make sure you've got plenty of water on you, keep hydrated, make sure you have plenty of food to get some fuel into your body, because they said exactly that, mate. You start at 8:30, you could be bowling until 11 o'clock at night. Now, that's one hell of a long day.
This is certainly the case.
So how do you prepare for a tournament like this, especially with your grueling schedule? At least I've got a day off to rest if I get through sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll see how we go. But, mate, big prep, what do you do in terms of preparation?
Look, I believe nutrition is a massive part of having the stamina to keep on going. I'm into fitness, into gym. I'm all about sort of not drinking the night before a big game. It's very important to obviously look after the body. So lots of water, hydrate.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of 3 to 4 litres if you can get that into your system. I'm a big believer of carbohydrates the night before going to a big preparation.
Big pasta.
I'll give you an idea. So tonight I'm going to have obviously a couple of serves of pasta to really fuel the thing up, drink my water, and then come tomorrow, I think we get up at 6 in the morning, you meal prep for the day, you have your bananas, you have all your meals like your sandwiches between games, you have your big pastas that can get you through. If you win your section, it's all about sectional play first. So if you're fortunate to win your section, you then got to have another big meal to fuel up for the next game or potentially 2 games.
Yep.
So bananas, lots of carbohydrates, and just the good foods. I find alcohol's probably not the best, although it's sugary, can get you a bit of a insulin spike.
It's not the best the morning after anyway. I know that. There's nothing worse than having a big day like that and being hungover. There's absolutely nothing worse. And the fact that you're badly dehydrated. So I'm actually going to behave for the first 3 days. We'll see what happens after that.
Well, look, if you're winning, mate, you celebrate a win too. So there's that crossroad.
A couple of beers is fine. Everybody knows a couple of beers, but any more than that's probably getting a bit silly. So is there anything you do in the mornings, for example, of play? I'm just a really slow starter. Even last night playing night pennant, played at Blackburn in freezing cold conditions. It took me 7 ends to get going, and that's after 2 end roll-up. So what's your prep and what's your advice for people in terms of that kind of thing?
My advice is getting the brain switched on. So if you've had a long drive, I'm a big believer, get into a venue half an hour before you actually start and just loosen the body, whether it's a few stretches, and I'm happy to show you what I go through stretches-wise.
Yeah, mate. Yep, go for it.
Find your legs, quads are a big part of the game. So I'm a big believer that just a simple squat about there really breaks up the fibers here. I'm big on, you obviously when you deliver, you do your lunges, whether you're obviously at the other side, really get the fibers expanding and loosening up. Your back is a big part. A lot of us suffer back problems. So I like to obviously do your stretches, where you do your vice stretches, and you stretch out to your toes, and that eliminates any issues. Then I like to the shoulder blades, get the shoulder blades back, so I feel I'm loose. And then you do a few of your deliveries, and then if it comes out smooth, and then you repeat the process a few times, and it feels like you've hit your way, then I know that physically the body's going to obviously assist me going through. And then it's activating the brain, which is the hardest thing, is focus.
Yep.
So I'm a big believer, turn up to a venue half an hour before you actually start. Sit down, look at the rink you're playing on, watch the winds, absorb the atmosphere, acclimatise yourself to the scenery. Ask the questions, is the green 13 seconds today? Is it 17 seconds? Adjust the mindset, because it's all about the visualisation of your weight control, as you can appreciate. If a green's 20 seconds or it's 12 seconds, there's a huge difference. So be prepared for a game. Understand that the green's going to be wider today, understand there's a lot of wind. Do you try to aim to nail the jack every time, or do you try to achieve area bowls? And later on in the next segment, I believe, we'll talk about hitting the area. And I'm a big believer of, don't need to nail the jack, you need to nail the area.
So we've done our warm-ups now. I've done a previous episode on warm-ups, and unfortunately for the Vic Open and tournaments like this, you can't come out onto the greens, you can't touch the greens prior to a game. So the half hour, 3/4 of an hour warm-up that I do after my muscle warm-ups, you're not allowed to do in big tournaments. So, mate, what do you do mentally to prepare after that? You know, you're only going to get 2 in roll-ups, so you haven't got time to muck around. So
very important to watch how your bowl behaves, and not only yours, but watch your teammates' bowls and particularly your opponent's bowls. The more bowls you watch, the more understanding you see how the characteristics of the bowl. Will it swoop? Will it hold? Get an idea, and then your brain's processing this and it's getting a good understanding about what's going down. And of course, when you put a bowl down, you don't aim to nail it, you aim to put them in the area. Yep. And by hitting the area, it gives you confidence. And the more confidence you have, naturally, you then get to flow.
Yeah, and that's even during the roll-ups. Just try and get it in the area.
The roll-up is the most crucial time, because end one, you'll be ready to go. You don't want to start slow, as you mentioned. Sometimes you start a bit slow. You want to be ready to go. The body's fit, the mind's fit, and you just want to go for it. Yep. And if you're going and they're not, it means you've got a little bit of an advantage, yes.